Thank you. Can we have the video, please? Let's have a little fun to begin with. It's been
He will be challenged here, though. It's been a much different lead-up to these games than it was 4 years ago. If you ask Phelps and his coach Bob Bowman, Bowman said neither one of us had any fun in London. As a young teenager, no one had more fun than Phelps did, and he's back to that happy swimmer that he was as a 15-year-old, and it is shown in the pool as he comes in really the best shape we've ever seen him in as a 31-year-old tomorrow.
Way up there in lane number 1.
Brother Phelps in Rio in this event, but it's Phelps who's got about a body length lead now over Shields, who we expected the early speed from.
Boy, he went out fast last summer when he's right up there on Phelps.
Again, he's better in the 100, but Shields is just above Phelps.
Wow. I don't know, Dan. Phelps is starting to come back on Shields a little bit, but Shields is tightening up as well. Phelps is going to win it.
Phelps is going to win it. He's going to get his 5th Olympic berth, and it's Shields trying to hang on to 2nd, and he's going to get it done. That's a surprise. He's going to go to his 5th.
Well, that's a story about the brand and the agencies and the media owners. And those who were watching were the target audience, laughing, of course enjoying. Now, before I move on to a small dipstick that I will do with this video that I've just shown you, I'll just introduce Dollar Industries Limited. Primarily, we have been known for male innerwear with Akshay Kumar advertising Fit Hai Boss. But then we are not just male innerwear. We also manufacture for women. We also manufacture for kids. We are into athleisure. We do a humongous amount of exports across Middle East, East Africa, Southeast Asia, and into a lot more. We have the complete production units. We don't rely on public supply of goods to us. We manufacture end-to-end products. So that's Dollar Industries Limited. And most importantly, last 10 years, from 2010, we went ahead from 293 crores to 1,000 plus crores in just 10 years' time. So that's what Dollar Industries have done. So whatever today I'll talk about, it will be just based on experience, more than gathered knowledge. So let's move on. Why this video? Particularly, I want to show a small dipstick. What do we do in generally when we do media planning, when we do outdoors, is that as just seen, the brand and the media owners or the agencies, they have performed very, very well. But then the point is, whether there was water means whether the ROI has come or whether there was the audience who has actually seen us, that's the big question. So every time we plan well, media, of course, OOH has been a big support to what we have become today. Transit media being a part of it. But then every time, do we plan well? Is the target audience right? Are we choosing our target audience right in the right place? So those things are very, very important. So let's look at. So who are we? The audience who has just enjoys this video, you are a target consumer. I am also a consumer. So we live in urban and rural areas. So 41 crores is urban and 92 crores is rural. That's the population of the country. And if you look at the purchasing power that we have found out is 25% in cities, 25% in towns, and 50% in villages. Now I'm talking about roti, kapda, makan. Kapda, the least of it, the first of it. Without that you cannot, probably you can go on even a single day. I'm talking about that. There's the basic FMCG. Probably, you may alter me because this is into clothing. But then I'd rather say this is FMCG because we are available from a zero in Arunachal Pradesh. There is a place called Zero in Arunachal Pradesh. Very hardly people go there. But then once a year, there's a rock band festival happens there. So we are probably at the box of our banyan is found also there, and then it is also found in Bhuj and probably else, where else in the country we don't know. So who is this rural villager and who is this urbanite? The very concept of the rural audience that we understand, or used to understand, has changed hitherto in a very, very different way in the last 1 decade. What we know, India, largely there is a population which is illiterate, but with the mobile in a hand, there is no more illiteracy in the country. Every person, whether they are staying in village, they are staying in the remotest corner of the country, the last mile, they are communicating. They are able to read, not in, of course, in English, but then their regional languages. People were saying, earlier in the day that newspaper has dipped. Of course, I'm talking about English newspaper, quote unquote. Regional newspaper is growing. That's an ABC report, I'm sure you can refer to. So who is this audience? This audience is experimentative. They're waiting for it. I just share one example. I was there 150 kilometers away from Lucknow city, in the Sitapur district, somewhere very deep interior in a village. So there I just visited because we have some outlet over there, and distributor had a very good business. I just wanted to understand where exactly is this distributor doing the business. He is supposed to sell it in Lucknow, but then he is selling outskirts, and there he is doing business. Whereas the moment we ask him, do you need support in Lucknow, he says no, I need support in the interior places. So this particular village, 150 kilometers away from Lucknow, when I went there, the retailer over there, as we went there from office, Dollar Industries, they offered me cold drinks. The moment they offered me cold drinks, I just stood up because there was no house that I could see with electricity. I asked this guy, where did you get this from? Because I don't think this entire village would have a fridge. Then they said, no, it's 1 kilometer away. So whenever comes or whenever there is something, an occasion like this, we go and bring a bottle of cold drinks for us, for all of us to enjoy. Now this is a villager who doesn't have access to basic things that he aspires for, but then he wants it. And when we're talking about the basic clothing, that is, he definitely wants to wear what Akshay Kumar is probably wearing. But then the point is that whether are we reaching there? We talked about transit media, we talked about railways, reaching the last mile, we talked about buses, the only option. But then I also tell you one fact. Yesterday only I was talking to my team over in Haryana. They are checking officers. Whenever you do campaigns, they move on from one city to another. I just happened to ask, when you travel from one city to another, is there any advertisement that you see in buses that you commute to? They clearly said no. So where are we actually advertising? In cities and probably A towns and B towns? You are talking about this, earlier as I said, just a second. Sorry. A towns and B towns, is that the population that we are talking about? So we are only reaching out to 50% of the purchasing power. The 50% of the purchasing power is still to be reached. So transit media is the only option through which you can reach the rest of the 50%. Another point example I would like to give. ShopClues, as you know, is probably third or fourth player in the e-commerce segment. Last year, they opened up e-commerce outlet physical. The concept is very peculiar. How? Because the villager, they cannot order things because the courier won't reach them. So what they do was, they opened up outlets in each of the villages, which became their center shops. So whenever they have to order, they will come to this shop, they will order, and then the product will reach there and they will take it from there. Now, villager has become very, very aspiring. Whereas, in cities, we always have options all the time. Now, of course, the villager has trust issues. But then, this trust issues doesn't bother him to experiment on things, He is always willing to try. Is definitely remotely populated again, rural India, but then they are, the way they are fragmented, the way the markets are positioned, they're always, ready to go to the last mile. Whereas in cities, even though it's densely populated, but then it is so many choices that you actually don't remember. Even if I right away ask you, what brand are you wearing underneath, you won't be able to remember. Because the moment you wear it, you forget because you are comfortable in it. Ours is a brand, when you go to a mall, probably you buy it at 600 rupees a piece. And probably, in market, it is available at 50 rupees a piece. The product is same, just that it would be a mota or patla thing. Economic wise also, not that, villagers always look for cheap products. They also look for premium products because they have more money in their hand, because they don't have cinema halls, they don't have other means of entertainment. So they have money. And the recent study says, we did a recent research, we have group A, group B products, We thought that group B is the product which actually sells in the rural areas, whereas, in urban areas, it is a group A product sells more, which is the premium product to talk about. What we found out, very surprisingly, is that group A is similarly very popular in rural areas as well, because they want to wear what Akshay Kumar is wearing. Probably in cities, they might have so many more choices. So the few more economic options that we have seen here. Socioculture. Now, villages, they are group loyal, there will be discussion, people talk about it and they accept. Here in cities, we have influencers who are influencing them every time. We have social media, we are into Instagram, probably one of the stars that I follow, if they do something, we immediately go and buy. But then in rural, it is definitely different scenario altogether. Now, this is the audience that we're talking about. So when we come to transit media, buses, there could be many varieties of buses. As we know, there is interstate, local, government, corporate institutions. When I say institutions, there is particular buses, say in Kolkata, we have many buses plying from Salt Lake to the other parts of the city. They just take the IT people from one place to another. So these are buses that I'm talking about. So when you are targeting, when you are taking buses, or when you are coming up with a solution that this time you take bus, it is important to know who exactly I am talking to. See, many a times for us it is a very difficult situation to ascertain which brand will go in which place. Particularly, say I'm a Levi's brand. I have jeans, people have accepted me. The moment I have accessories, there is no doubt, there is no difficulty. People will accept, okay, this is from Levi's, okay, this is from Levi's, I'll simply buy it. But then we have graduated from just hosiery to a bigger brand. We are offering athleisures, we are offering premium brands. So buying a athleisure from a brand that I am wearing underneath, it's a difficult, it's a mental psyche. You as in a person, you might be a different person when you are buying your innerwear, and you might be a different person when you are buying your outerwear. It's very difficult to ascertain. So simply putting my vinyl inside a bus, will that work? Many times I ask people, when you are traveling by bus, do you what is the time actually when you see the ads? Don't know, probably in the evening. Why evening? Because that is the time when I actually leisurely travel back. I don't have rush in my mind. In the morning, I'm not able to see any kind of advertisements, because it's like everyday rush. I wake up, I have to catch a bus anyway, jostle between so many crowd in the crowd, and they have to have seat and then go to office. I don't care whether there is an advertisement or not. But then in the evening, I actually see when I am sitting leisurely, and then there is enough time in my hand. But then, as a brand, as a media owner, do you think our buses are good enough for evening visibility of the media? There's a hygiene question. Again, where exactly you are advertising? It is the local buses that you are advertising. Local buses are always being crowded. How would a person see where the ad is? And outdoor media being a 3-second media, if you think something put in the back is going to be read by people or is going to be seen by people, again, this is a big question. Many a times we don't even know whether what is there. Okay, maybe a picture. No more brand messaging works. So that's a difficulty. Railway, which class do I travel? Again, as a marketer, it's very difficult to understand, which brand need to be where, which audience I'm talking to. Is the audience traveling long distance, or is traveling local, or is traveling metro? Which brand will work where? Of course, air travel being the most premium, area of advertising in transit. Again, it would be different for metro cities, wherein you see all the big brands being advertised. But then when you go down to smaller cities, it's going to be different, because these people don't have other options. For example, I belong to Northeast, so from Northeast coming down to even Kolkata, it's a 2-day journey. So people from all strata of economic life, they choose airport, they choose airlines. So do you think only advertising high brands will work there? Sometimes we also get baffled whether our B group will work there or A group will work there, because the audience are mixed. We never know which is going to work. Cabs, of course, this is another medium which we have in our kitty. We can use it in a different way, but then again, there's a big question: which brand is going to work? Auto rickshaw. I forgot to carry change every time. The most difficult one, because you never know, is the person taking an auto rickshaw is a person who cannot spend in cab. Of course not. In cities particularly, I tell you, people who want to save money, probably they take auto. How would you say that this person is not carrying a mobile which is worth more than 20,000 rupees? And if you advertise something cheap over there, that only will work. And if you don't advertise, probably if you advertise a bigger brand over there, it will not work. It doesn't happen anymore. People are always aspiring. Even if they're traveling by auto, that doesn't mean they don't have purchasing power. Other options, we use waterways. In Kolkata, we have steamers. There is Ganga Sagar just over. We had Mela over there. Almost 12 lakh people came to Ganga Sagar Mela. All these pilgrims are not necessarily from the lower strata of life. They are from, they're well-to-do families. They wanted to travel once to Ganga Sagar, because as it is said, Baki Tirth Bar Dwar Ganga Sagar Ek Bar. Now this is the Indian mindset. And so all people from across the country, they travel here. So how do I choose between which audience will buy which products of mine? So what is the takeaway? The key takeaway is, every time, see, we as a brand custodian, we sit down, we look forward to agencies, media owners like you to come to us and propose us things which we might utilize and exactly get the value for money and ROI. It's not just that you come with a media and give us, okay, this is one media that you can explore and probably invest your money. Then investing money is not always the option. It has to be customized. Probably it is time for us to understand what brand are you talking about. Is the brand I'm approaching is suiting this particular media, or which product I'm talking about? Maybe a little insight of the brand, not just approaching the brand as in with the media that you have, but then the insight that you may help, the value addition that you look forward to will go a long mile. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Bidyut. Very interesting perspectives. I think what you brought on to the table is the way the consumer views advertising and how you can plan for that.
Exactly.
Very nice. Any questions that you'd like Bidyut to address? Well, Bidyut, you mentioned, you talked about the product offerings in the market, and there's a broad perception that it's all about innerwear, but you have quite diversified in that space. But nonetheless, when you talk about innerwear branding and the in the outdoor space, is it all that easy?
Not at all. Many a times, in different cities, there are huge issues. Like in Maharashtra, particularly Mumbai, you cannot show underwear, you cannot show, bare body. You cannot. There are places where you cannot just use English. You have to use the regional language as well. So a lot of issues. It's not just that we have successfully advertised over the years, and OOH and transit media have been helpful to us. We have been restraining ourselves, restraining and using. That's why I said it has to be customized. Probably, media owners, we want this from media owners to do a back research whether it will be acceptable or not, and then probably help us. Because from our brand side, we continuously do this exercise whether this is going to be acceptable. Our creatives are like that. That what do we sell? Is the innerwear which you wear inside. Now a person cannot be shown wearing it inside, and with clothes outside you cannot show it. You have to show the product, and we don't have an option. But at the same time, when it is advertised, it has to be restricted in such a way that it doesn't look odd to people. So that's a huge challenge. And anyways, been doing it.
Well, yes, one question from Tahir.
सर आपने अपना अभी प्रेजेंटेशन में बस मीडिया का, कैब्स का, सबका आपने जिक्र किया अपने ब्रांड के लिए. सर आपका मेट्रो को लेके जो मेट्रो नेटवर्क्स हैं दिल्ली में हैं, मुंबई में हैं, और बहुत सारे सिटीज़ में नए मेट्रोज आ रहे हैं, जयपुर में है, लखनऊ में है. तो सर आप अपने ब्रांड को लेकर व्हाट आर योर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑन मेट्रो दैट यू एडवर्टाइज ऑन मेट्रोज एज वेल, ऑन स्टेशंस और इनसाइड ट्रेन्स? बिकॉज सर वो मुझे आपके मीडिया मिक्स में, आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में कहीं पे दिखाई नहीं दिया. ना रेलवेज़ का आपने डिस्कशन कहीं किया उसके ऊपर, ना मेट्रो नेटवर्क्स पे किया. हाउ डू यू सी दोज इन्वेंट्रीज एज योर place of advertisement?
See, metros has been very integral part because being in Kolkata, our HO is in Kolkata. So every time we advertise, we have to have metro in our plan. So similarly, all of these years, 10 years down the line, we have been in Delhi Metro, we have been in Kolkata Metro. हमने हमेशा लिया है. It has been integral part of the entire OOH plan that we do. लेकिन वहाँ पर भी we have to have selected places only where we do advertise. For example, Missy is our female brand. So whenever we advertise it, we take only the female compartments. So that's how we customize, so that the consumer per se who we actually are talking about, they only see. So that's how we have been doing it.
जैसे जो आपके नॉर्मल ब्रांड्स हैं, डॉलर अंडरवियर्स हैं, ये सब कुछ हैं, तो सर जो लोग मेट्रो पे ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, सर जो मेट्रो का टीजी आजकल आ रहा है, सर जो हम लोग भी टाउन्स की और इवन रूरल विलेजेस की बात कर रहे हैं, बट whenever the guys come to the big cities, the metro is the preferred choice that they travel by metro only. So why not the other brands also on metro?
देखिए, दो ब्रांड हमने मेट्रो में अभी तक हमने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. एक बिग बॉस जो अक्षय कुमार प्रमोट करते हैं, एंड सेकंड इज मिसी. Third brand we have recently introduced is Force Next, that the premium brand that we talk about, which is more male, youth, college going. And we have selected metros in Delhi and Kolkata accordingly. जैसे ऐसी metro हमने लिया, because many of the youngsters that we have seen, हमने जब travel करते हैं वो रुक जाते हैं. अगर नॉन एसी आता है तो वो चढ़ते नहीं है in Kolkata. In Delhi, of course, all the metros are ACs. So again, where they stand, वो भी सोचना पड़ता है. कहाँ पे खड़े होते हैं? वो कोहर्ट्स में खड़े होते हैं. वो हर जगह पे नहीं मिलेंगे आपको. यूथ्स इधर कोने में होते हैं, तो आपको एंश्योर करना होता है कि नहीं, मेरे कोने ज़रूर दिखने चाहिए. It is very, very customized. That's why probably you have not seen across. तो हम लोग बहुत customized वैसे करते हैं.
ओके सर, ठीक है. थैंक यू सर.
Any other question? Thank you so much, Bidyut. Thank you, sir. Thank you.